I've chosen just 100 objects, signals from the past, if you like, that things can communicate to us. This is one of the first things that humans ever consciously made. You can imagine using this to butcher an elephant. It is, I think, a masterpiece of Ice Age art. It's the business end of a deadly weapon, with wings outstretched. Two naked people, hand-moulded out of a single lump of Nile River clay. The eyes closed, the lips parted. It's pretty underwhelming to look at, and it looks and feels a bit like a modern-day business card. Some scholars have thought that it might be perhaps just a box to keep precious things in, to sign a document or to mark a package, to make a mark not on the landscape but in society. An even more powerful weapon of social control. From a distance, it looks a bit like the small ads column of an old-fashioned newspaper. You can see the fibres of the papyrus plant. The bull's in full gallop, and wrapped around the skeleton was a mysterious crushed object. The whole statue would originally have weighed about 20 tons. And they'd have run like a continuous frieze pretty well from floor to ceiling. A very sophisticated piece of political imagery. Used for feasting in the company of both the ancestors and the gods. They're strange beings, not entirely human in form, a kind of figure-of-8 shape, where it looks like an exquisite toy for a privileged child. They are, I think, some of the most moving and uplifting sculptures ever made. Extremely elegant, possibly for some kind of ceremony. But it would also have represented that owner's view of society and the cosmos, the most glamorized military ruler of his age. Not much to look at all. It's mostly bureaucratic jargon about tax concessions, decorated with gold and bronze inlay. It radiates charisma and raw power. You can see at once that this is a work of supreme craftsmanship, because it's in the shape of the upper half of a swimming otter, and it's made of a very beautiful grey-green speckled stone. A useful aid in subduing troublesome wives and mistresses. It's obviously designed to amuse, carved from grey schist, almost exactly the size of a 1-penny coin, with what looks like a winged globe on the top of it, this time in mosaic, and it is surprisingly heavy. It has a full-length figure of the Caliph. It's become one of the iconic objects of Britain's history, and his eyes are staring white. He's got a squashed nose with her large and prominent headdress, horribly disconcerting, because I can see that she's pulling a rope through her tongue. There's a clear air of melancholy in the eyes. We then see Susanna being led away to almost certain death by stoning. She still has a compelling lustre, a gloriously lively troupe of ceramic figures. It contained over 600 coins. The texture and the pattern were meticulously carved. The pair of cranes in flight, the classic serene half smile, and broken bits of pot, 78 pieces in all, with 5 wafer-thin discs, one on top of another. This is an object with extraordinary presence. They're the stars of the show. The grimacing, goggle-eyed creature, the sermon, venerated by a host of saints. The god who forever creates and destroys. She may be a mother goddess. He's a stone being. It's a badge of state, a woodblock stamp in black ink, an unusually cheerful-looking creature, so the owner of this cup could drink without fear, to give an enormous sense of pent-up energy and force. This fantastical mechanical galleon, wearing a high helmet-like crown, culminating in huge, terrifying fangs and tusks. And it's got a good weight. It's approximately sword-shaped, and in the centre is the encounter between the holy man and the prince, and he's shown in stark, dramatic profile. There's a small blue river with wavy lines on it. All the now familiar razzmatazz was there, and the wooden sides have been carved with simple decoration. It's vivid, radiant, and it's roughly 3 feet by 4 feet. It has become symbolically charged and just a little bigger than a CD. But this one is famous, the Trinity of Afternoon Tea. This was cheap and popular art. The musical instrument has become a trophy, the deft act of civil disobedience that celebrates the revolution, is inspired by the poems of the Greek poet Constantine Cavafy. But these are guns of peace, not of war. It's a portal to big spending power. And I want to finish with another tool, changing lives in many parts of the world. And it may yet, who knows, play a key role in solving the world's energy problem. an exhilarating journey through 2 million years of human endeavour, passion and ingenuity.